account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands in your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch it turn to a singer. Get it fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zip the back that like a popo. Don't do these, they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo.
Welcome back to Sean Watson. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Houston Texans and the New England Patriots. No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. Their 41-year-old quarterback leading them out there in his 19th season out of Michigan, the great Tom Brady.
Normally, I'm not crazy about reciting numbers about a player, but when you talk about a guy named Tom Brady who's playing at the highest level in his 40s, let's go ahead and do it. 4,500 yards passing, 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, a 3rd MVP award. These are not numbers you associate with a player playing in the NFL in his 40s.
Hey, you got 3, you got
20. Go!
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, still all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
20.
They'll run the play. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Wait, 20.
They keep it on the ground. White again. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Looking for Gronkowski, and he's got him complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. And I put my first tally mark next to the Brady to Gronk counter here.
I think it may be the first of many because once they get going, look out. Things tend to snowball. Tom Brady trusts Gronk as much as any receiver I think he's thrown to in his career. And it's evident when you see that.
And that's saying something.
That's saying something right there. But he's earned it.
They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. Coming on the blitz, he gets him for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as he stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Black 22! Black 22!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now it's Sony Michel with his first NFL carry. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, Black 22! Black 22! Richmond!
Now Watson. And he finds his man Griffin. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Hey, Black 22! Black 22! Black 99 Philly! Reset!
Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Watson just beating the play clock. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The Pats offense coming out, yet another Super Bowl run last year that, of course, came up short against the Eagles. But Charles Gronk is back. Tom Brady back. Do they have any magic left in the tank?
Of course they do. They're the New England Patriots, and until further notice, they run the AFC.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Chris Hogan, 56 yards. And the Pats have taken the early lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Texans making their way out with some renewed optimism, really, in Houston for 2018. But, Charles, it all revolves around one word. It's something they didn't have in 2017. I'll give you a hint. It starts with the letter H.
And I'm guessing it's not Houston.
No, it's health.
You're exactly right. Great call there, partner, because health is what really doomed their season last year. Remember, they were the #1 defense in the NFL 2 seasons ago. Whitney Merciless, a terrific outside linebacker, hurt very early last year. The face of the franchise, J.J. Watt, hurt very early last year. And who would have thought a rookie quarterback by the name of Deshaun Watson would give them the spark, the optimism they were looking for, and then when he went down, there went the season.
To throw is Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Dante Hightower. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough third and long coming up. Out of the gun, Watson. Flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
So after the INT, it's Brady. Over the middle, it's taken in by Gronkowski. And he's going to get into the end zone. So cue up the Gronk spike. It's a Patriot touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that'll make the score 14-0. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong colored jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision, right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talk about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at the snapshots. Now you look at the Microsoft Surface Pro. He's got to analyze what he's seeing and be more accurate with the ball.
Check 53's Mike. Check 53.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
We got 4. We got 10. Green, 39. Green, 39. 53 is the Mike. Let's go, defense. 2 jet.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike. It's a party now. Woo! Shift.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kyle Van Noy in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Check 48 for Mike. Check 48 for Mike.
They will indeed snap it to Watson, and he's going to go down again. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still first half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you point out, you got a whole half to play. Hang in there. Don't give up any more points in this situation. Do a little adjusting at the half and come out ready to go. But sometimes those coaches can just sense their team. Maybe they're a little flat or they need a little extra inspiration. And he decided to go for it there to try and kickstart things.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. The Texans and Patriots met in the divisional round of the playoffs 2 years ago. The Pats won that one, but they also met in one of the better games of the regular season last year. The Pats won, but it was in pretty dramatic fashion.
How about Deshaun Watson, second start in the NFL for the Houston Texans? He went toe-to-toe with the master himself, Tom Brady, didn't he? But in the end, you know how it always turns out, right?
Brady did his thing, found Brandon Cooks for a 36-33 win.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And a fast footwork by White. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here on the play. And it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Brady going to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So now on 4th down, on comes Stephen Gostkowski to try and get the Pats 3. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball, And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Duron Harmon. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick-6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Gostkowski, the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, baby. Go, 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 go.
Fresh off the pick-6, it's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick-6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Come back, come back. Hey, black 22. Black 22. Come back, come back. 59, Mike the 59. I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Motion, motion, motion.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Everyone's got four down. Red, green, the line.
From the gun, here's Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20, 10, and he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They come out here in the eye.
22, jet, black 22.
Trying to pound it in here with Michelle. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. He's going to get it running right. The first NFL touchdown run for Sony Michel as they are now on the board here in the first half. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. The return man is Grant. take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half two after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80! Hey!
On 2nd down, here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
And attempted a deep ball there, and they didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Back to throw, Watson. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. They're going for it. It's Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Devin McCourty picks it off. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a 1st down. Brady's got his guys 1st and 10, and he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Now Brady, blitz coming, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get the clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They go play action for White. Now it's Brady. And Gronkowski's got it. Complete over the middle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
Well, I think everything was impressive about that one, except they didn't get a 1st down. But I like their field position now after that play.
Yeah, now you got a pretty makeable field goal opportunity. And Gronkowski's kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Watson on 2nd down. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? A shotgun snap for Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down. They are going for it. Here's Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. And predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Patriots take over. They're going to have terrific field position. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Brady to throw on 2nd down. But he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Deron Harmon. And now out come the Patriots. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. And caught by Hogan for a Patriot touchdown. Chris Hogan, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Pats take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gostkowski with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 35. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. The return man is Grant. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And fresh off the pick 6. They've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. Here's Watson. He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
On 1st down, Watson going deep for Hopkins. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail. Back now in Foxborough. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Derek Rivers in there with pressure yet again. And that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. 3rd and long. It's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. This is caught at the 20. And he's going to be taken down deep into Patriot territory. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 43 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Caught here by Griffin. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Down. Black 22.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Watch tight end. Hey, red. Blue 80. Blue 80. 2 jet. 2 jet. 49. Check 49. Hey.
And they'll run for it with Miller. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on down. So the defensive front holding strong there on 4th and inches.
And how about the battle of big people up front? That turned into a leverage game, didn't it? Defensive linemen, they won it. Lower than the offensive guys, pushed them back, knifed through, and made a great play.
The drive starts with a run by White. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, that's White. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
20. Blue 20.
Now it's the Florida Atlantic alum. This is Alfred Morris. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Blue 20 out.
Now a carry for White. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That'll be a New England 1st down, a gain of 12.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
4 down. Wait again.
Right back to him on 1st down. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.